Hi guys, I'm Jasmine and you're watching my channel, The Curious White Coat. I'm in my final year as a medical student, which means I have about 4 years experience of taking tests and studying like a med student. So in this video, I want to share some tips and helpful study habits to help you through med school. Studying in medical school was a whole new world for me. I'm sure you've realized too that it's not as simple anymore as just reading the chapter, taking the test, and then passing the class. Let's talk about how you can approach studying. You want to have a good study environment. This means finding a place that's conducive to efficient studying. Personally, I didn't really like libraries. You'd be sitting out in the open and I get so easily distracted by anyone who would just walk by. But I did find that going into like a designated study room that you could book through the library or through your institution, that was a lot more helpful for me. If you choose to study at home, have a desk space where you can spread out all of your books and access all of your materials. Studying in bed or on the couch in front of the TV is not really good for making sure that you're focused on your work. As much as we love them, our family and friends can also be a bit of a distraction when it comes to studying. So to kind of prevent this, one of the things that I did was to let people know ahead of time when I plan to study. For step one, I left like a little note on my door just to let people know when I was actually studying. And then I'd take it off whenever I was free or on break so they know that they could come in and say hey or whatever. A good habit to have is to plan ahead. You want to schedule out your study routine and plan in advance for what it is you want to do to study for that class. We would get our syllabus before a class started, and I'd take a little bit of time out, maybe like 30 minutes, and I would plan out how I wanted to study. So when I was starting off, I would probably plan a week or so at a time, but you get a better understanding of how you study, how long it's going to take you to get through a Q bank or watch a certain number of videos, and then you're able to start planning ahead much further. So I was able to plan out the entire course, and then I just make adjustments as I needed. Planning ahead is also helpful to make sure that you're not doing any last minute cramming and you can make time for things that you enjoy. It may seem counterintuitive that you'll optimize your studying by not studying, but I like to think of it as if you're giving your brain a chance to catch its breath. So schedule in short 10 to 15 minute breaks throughout the day. I wasn't really a big fan of the 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off method, just because it was a little short for me. So personally, my sweet spot was an hour and change, maybe 2 hours, and then I'd take a 15-minute break, but you find whatever rhythm works for you. When you do have longer study sessions, though, you want to make sure that you schedule in longer break times. So you can go eat, exercise, go stretch. You can go pull your phone out of whatever drawer that you hid it in to kind of prevent yourself from getting distracted. And then you can go through all of your notifications from all of your social media apps. Just make sure that you can put the phone back down because you do have more studying to do after. I love getting in my 8 hours of sleep, so this is a study habit that I am very good at keeping. Everyone's different for the amount of time that they need, and if you're not sure how much time you need to sleep, a good starting point for adults is around 7 hours or more, so you can kind of figure out from there if you need more or less sleep. Sleeping helps you learn. When you don't have an adequate amount of sleep, your attention and your focus just go down the drain, and you can't absorb all of that information that you learned throughout the day. Sleeping helps you to consolidate those new facts into your long-term memory. But getting quality sleep is not just for the night before the test. You want to make sure that you're getting a good night's rest in the days leading up to your exam as well. Try to come into your studying with a positive perspective. The mind is a very powerful thing. If you think that you can't, you probably won't. Like I've said in a couple of my other videos, be kind to yourself. I don't learn well when someone is yelling at me or criticizing me. So if my internal monologue is also negative in that way, then that's not going to help either. Give yourself some friendly words of affirmation. Maybe listen to an inspirational TED Talk, but don't get sucked into the vortex of watching more videos. I personally like to reflect on the end goal in all of this. Being a doctor is so much more than the next test that you're going to take. And remind yourself that you're so much more than the next exam or the grade that you get in a class. You can also consider doing some quick meditation or some deep breathing exercises to just kind of clear your mind before you tackle that next study session. You could also try out group studying, but I wouldn't make this my main form of studying. Maybe have one or two other people that you can bounce ideas off of and like go through practice questions with, but don't make it into a crowd. Having 5 to 10 other people is just bound to have tons of distractions. I hope you learned a little bit from this video. Like always, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for future topics that you want to see. If you'd like to know more about different study methods or techniques, check out my video on how to study in medical school. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share this video with other students, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.